Hi, it's Daphne here with another video, and this time I'm going to be sharing with you the devaluing stage of my narcissistic relationship. My narcissistic ex's mask came off, and I finally got to see his true colors. I went from being a priority to just being an object. But not only did he devalue me, he also devalued himself. Stay tuned to hear about it. Thank you for tuning in. And first, before I begin, let me say that I am not trying to diagnose my narcissistic ex as a narcissist, although his behavior perfectly lines up with narcissistic traits. I'm just discerning the information about narcissism with his manipulative behavior. And if it acts like a duck, walks like a duck, it must be a duck. And I don't claim to be perfect. I make mistakes too. And as I understand, all of us have some sort of narcissistic traits about us, but some people allow those traits to interfere with normal thought processes and they choose to do what is wrong instead of what is right. So, I want to share with others about what I went through, hoping that someone will benefit from hearing my experience about being in a narcissistic relationship. Okay, so before I get started, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and just show your support. And also, you'll be notified when I post a new video. Okay, so the narcissistic relationship devaluing stage. It is the second stage of the narcissistic relationship abuse cycle. Okay, and it's hard for me to describe the feelings that I had, the feelings that had overcome me after I was devalued and betrayed. Okay, so to set the stage, I'm going to start off with a picture. Okay, so this picture here, it is a picture of me and my ex, the last picture that we took. We were at a party of a relatives of mine. Okay, and it shows us as a couple out enjoying a nice evening out. But what this picture doesn't show is that I was being devalued at that very moment because it was just weeks before he would get married again after living a double life for 2 years, maybe longer. I don't know. And there he sat with secrets and deception in his heart, knowing that he would betray me in one of the worst ways. That was devaluing because after 6 years being with this person, he didn't have the tiniest bit, not even the tiniest bit of respect to just tell me that he wanted to move on. I'm sorry, that he had already moved on. Okay. And so, also, by the time this picture was taken, I'm sure he and wife number four, they had already what made a wedding date and probably had a few rehearsals by this time. But look at him, just look at him. And she's back home in another city, awaiting the big day. Okay, had no idea, had no idea. He did some pretty disgusting things, some things that I can't even mention on here. Okay, so like many people, I didn't know anything about narcissism and how to relate certain behaviors to it. So I missed the early signs of a narcissistic, toxic relationship. Okay, now the devaluing stage, it usually starts after the love bombing stage, but in my case, it was happening in the very beginning. Just didn't realize what I was dealing with. And so, to give you an example, so we worked together, as I had stated before, and we were going to be getting some time off work. This was like 4 months into our relationship. No, I'm sorry, 4 months after his divorce, third divorce. Okay, still early in our relationship. Okay, so we was gonna plan this trip, just the two of us, to go and have a little celebration. Just the two of us, a little weekend getaway. I said just the two of us, but I thought anyway. So I thought, okay. Lo and behold, the day before we were gonna go on this trip, he tells me that his friend and his friend's fiance, now ex-wife, he told me that they were coming along with us. Of course, I wasn't happy about it, and I let him know that I was not happy about it. I didn't appreciate it. Okay, so first of all, notice that I said he told me that they were coming along. Okay, he told me that they were coming along. He never asked me if I'd be okay with it, and just I mean, really, after that, he scolded me. He scolded me because I let him know that I didn't appreciate that. So he tells me, if we're gonna be together, you have to we're gonna have to hang out with some of my friends sometime. But I didn't have a problem hanging out with his friends because we had already went to dinner together. This Me and the narcissistic ex and this couple, and we had went bowling one night together. Okay, so it wasn't about me not wanting to hang out with his friends, but that's what he made it about. What it was really about was him being inconsiderate and controlling. Okay. And so, like narcissists do, and like my narcissistic ex did, he deflected the situation, okay, and made it to be something that it was not to avoid accountability. That's what narcissists do. They're not accountable for anything, okay? And also, yeah, he cared more about pleasing his friend than me. And just like he was showing signs of narcissistic behavior then. But like I said, I didn't know how to relate certain behavior to narcissism in toxic relationships. I just thought he was being a jerk, honestly. So let me give you an example. Let's see, another example. Okay, so like I stated, we work together. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that after we met, we had lost contact for a little while. All right, so before all that, he had a vehicle. But when we reconnected, he didn't have that vehicle anymore. So he was driving his friend's car around. Okay, and that went on for a while until something happened to that car. And after that, he started riding to and from work with me. And yeah, like I said, they went on for a while. All right, he was riding to work with me, and that was okay, for a while until he got this new position at the job. Okay, he got this new position, and he just changed completely. Started acting different. We didn't take lunches or breaks together anymore, and he just flat out act like he didn't know me at work anymore when he got this new position. Okay, so like I said, he was riding to and from work with me. But when we got to work, don't you know, he would hop out of the car and walk in a totally different direction. And then he would walk fast, like he was trying to leave me behind. And he would be in my area, work area sometimes. He wouldn't even look in my direction. Like I said, at work, he didn't know me at work. He got this new position. Okay? So, but I mean, that went on as just an example of how I was being devalued early on in the relationship, and I just really had no idea. Like I said, I thought he was just being a jerk. Okay, and so in addition to those examples, he started to emotionally detach from me, only showing affection when it was convenient for him. Okay, he criticized everything that I did and called me complicated all the time when I wasn't doing something the way he thought I should be doing it or not doing something his way. Okay, he barely had anything good to say, but was so quick to point out a flaw or something. Okay, and he started hanging out with his friend more, And he wouldn't tell me about his plans until the day of, when he knew about it long before he mentioned it to me. But he devalued me because he didn't think that I was worthy of knowing about his plans. Okay. And then when I called him on the phone, it went from, hey D, hey babe, hey baby girl, to what's up? Really? But I told him not to address me. No, I'm sorry. I asked him not to address me that way. But he devalued me because he continued to do that even after I asked him not to. And he knew how I felt about it. Okay, so that's not respecting boundaries. That's another narcissistic trait. Narcissists do not respect boundaries. Okay, narcissists overstep boundaries. All right, and then another thing, he was just always complaining. I mean, always complaining about something. And so one day I said, hey, you know what? I could be complaining about some things too. Complaining about some things that, or something that I can't mention on here, or I'd rather not mention. Okay. But I believe he never got past that. He never got past it. And he suffered a narcissistic injury. His ego was wounded, okay? And I was going to pay for that. And so, but it does, it makes sense why he acted so evil toward me. And I even apologized, but it doesn't excuse his behavior. And I just believe that he never got past that. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you might wonder why I stayed in this relationship. We had good times as well. We had good times. And he wasn't always being a jerk. We still went to dinner, watched movies, breakfast, just doing all the things that couples do. So when it was good, it was good. But what he was doing was just giving me enough to keep me hanging on. Okay? He fooled me into thinking that we were going to be okay. All right. And so I'm going to get to how he devalued himself. So relationships, they end all the time. Some are just not meant to be. But I believe that the way a relationship ends, it makes all the difference. You can go about it in an honorable way, and some people do not go about it in an honorable way. My narcissistic ex, he set me free, but in a cruel and scandalous way. There was nothing honorable about how my narcissistic ex moved on. Okay, also, at one point, he held a position where he is expected to live and abide by certain values. Okay, but he devalued himself by doing the complete opposite of those values. Okay, he was a liar, a cheater, a manipulator. And instead of showing integrity, honor, respect, loyalty, he did the complete opposite. So he exposed himself as being a cheater, a liar, and a manipulator. And he made himself a bad representation of that role. Okay. And either he was lying to his family about me and his relationship, or they condoned what he was doing, living a double life and seeing two women at the same time. And you know what? He had the nerve to tell me that his family asked why I didn't come along with him when he went out of town to visit. Well, first of all, he never asked. He always left behind my back. I didn't know it. He was already gone. He didn't want me to go. And why would his family be asking about me when he already has another fiance lined up? Okay, but there was one relative of his that knew I was still around. Okay, so to his family and his friends, I was just another book on the shelf. But like I said, there was one relative that knew I was still around. Okay, and with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. And I just want to say that being devalued by someone I loved and trusted was very detrimental. And I have feelings I had never felt before. Toxic relationships are dangerous. Some people aren't as strong as I have had to be. So, again, with this video, I want to help others to recognize narcissistic behavior through my experience. And remember that devaluing doesn't always follow the love bombing stage. As you saw in my case, it started early in the beginning. Okay, I confused the signs of narcissistic behavior with my narcissistic ex, just being a jerk. But as you see that he went way beyond just being a jerk. Okay, so just gotta be cautious, be careful, and just recognize. That's what I'm trying to help others to do. Just recognize that toxic behavior. Okay, and not only just recognize, but act and don't react like I did. I wouldn't be sitting here now, okay? But I'm glad that I am because I hope I have the opportunity to share my story, encourage someone else to tell theirs, and to help others avoid being treated this way. It was too late for me, but I can help someone else. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, like it. And please share, comment, subscribe so you can get the notifications when I post a new video. Okay? And I'm going to end it there. And like I said, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, good choices and happy thoughts.